our first collection, if you've checked out or seen the press about us, is an all-weather wicker collection. And like the way I think about design is that it's not one size fits all. Like every single material has its unique characteristics that are suitable for whatever your criteria are. And teak is just one of those materials that is time tested. Time tested meaning like centuries of time testing. After hundreds of years, even though they were still like functioning well, it was like the artists and craftsmen and the furniture makers that realized how good this material was, and that's how it became used for furniture. So like when I think about materials for the outdoors, I've realized there's a really limited palette. Teak is one that I would use. When you think about, there are other materials that you see for woods that people use. You'll see like eucalyptus, you'll see mahogany, you'll see cedar, but nothing compares to teak. It is considered the king of timbers. We designed this where we wanted it to be more streamlined, and some of the inspiration came from kind of the automotive industry, where you think about like things actually blending into other things. So our back seamlessly blends into the seat frame. Rory, if you can see, it's like when you think about actually milling the wood, usually you want to have good square pieces. And you can see a lot of what we've done is we've added a lot of little details that you don't even notice, how this piece actually does have a cut that way, and this is blended in like really nicely. Even, let me see if you can get to this. But basically, like the corner piece here, because of the shape of the leg post, it's bigger. It actually is chamfered and edged, so it's actually like everything flows into everything else. Let me show you a few other details. I'll turn it this way. If you are able to see this, it's really subtle, but most of this chair is put together not with stainless steel hardware. There's a little bit. Most of it is actually pinned together with teak dowel rods. So this back frame is pinned to the back leg with a teak dowel rod. And why do you do that? Part of it is like craftsmanship, like the fact that you can do it in a way where you don't actually see any gaps. But the bigger part is that with any material, it does expand and contract. And wood versus metal would expand and contract at different rates. Teak overall has a really low coefficient of contracting and expanding. But the reason we did this was that if you use the same material, the expansion and contraction happens at the same rate, which means you won't actually see anything splitting. So that's like a reason we wanted to do it that way. And again, it's like the craftsmanship of being able to see, when you think about like dovetails or any of like classic construction for furniture manufacturing, the hardest thing is to do something where you are not using hardware, which is an easy way of doing things. Some of the other details that I'm pretty excited about are, this is something that's pretty unique, which is typically when you see like the back seat, the post is connected to the seat. And the way that we've designed it, it actually looks like it's floating. You can see it doesn't actually connect, so there is basically a span beam that goes from the back edge to the front edge. And just in doing so, it just kind of gives it that more unique look. For our teak collection, we do use only grade A teak. And to give you a little bit of an education on teak, there are grades. So once the tree is harvested, then it gets graded into like A, B, and C. To give you a little bit more about our teak, it comes from Indonesia, from the central Java region, and we harvest it around 40 years old. Once these trees are cut, they do go through the grading process, and only about 22% of a log gets classified as grade A, and the remaining 78% is used for other things. So it's not that we take the log and we use just the 22%. It actually gets used for other things. So like our supplier uses it to make lower grade teak furniture, so stuff that you might see in like mass retailers. And that's where you often see it's like, well, why is this table X and ours is Y? It's because of the way it's graded. And to talk about teak, like what makes it grade A versus B and C? A big part is grade A usually is the base of a log to the kind of the lower midsection, and the rest is basically used for other purposes. And the reason for that is because when you look at a cross section of a log, you'll have the heartwood, which is in the center, and then kind of near the outer section or the cambium, you have the sapwood, and that's lighter. And that lighter part of the wood just means it's younger, and it doesn't have the same amount of oil content or silica or latex that's in it. And that oil content, silica and latex, is what actually gives it the protective qualities that make it pest, mold, and fungus resistant. But for ours, it doesn't matter how you look at it. You take this table, you see it from the top, you see it from the bottom, everything is grade A. So we do care most about premium so that it lasts a long time, and it could easily last 10 years and beyond. Just to give you some data on teak. So a 40-year-old teak tree, so that's when we cut it down, will sequester about 2,000 kilograms of carbon and 3,600 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So, again, like if you look at some of the details of trees and the impact that they have on reducing greenhouse gases, we need to have more trees. And, when we do this, there's two things that we will talk about. We're talking about one, our furniture is FSC certified. It comes from a teak farm in central Java. And being FSC certified, for every tree that gets cut down, 3 saplings are planted in its place. And then here on our shores in North America, we have partnered with One Tree Planted, a nonprofit that is planting trees to help improve the lungs of the earth. And what we've committed to with them is for every chair that we sell, we plant 15 saplings. So for this 3-seat sofa, that means 45 trees are planted when you purchase. So like as we talk about our furniture, there's always an aspect of like thoughtfulness of thinking about the materials that you use. So if anything, it educates you more.